I remember when they brought the Indian culture to my Rotary Club in Dallas. I mean, there was a whole lot. In fact, they talk about mathematics as an offshoot of the religion and everything. Now, one thing I've noticed about the Indian people is collaboration, like I mentioned when I started. And not just collaboration, the fact that an Indian, and I'll say this, no disrespect, I have seen Indians in Canada, for example, who don't even speak English, but they pass IELTS. And I'm asking how. I have seen Indians who, I was in the UK and I was talking to the head of the Indian community in Watford. And he was asking me, Praise, how long does it take for a Nigerian to become a US citizen? And I said maybe like 5-10 years. So I repeated the same question. He said, well, our lawyers, when an Indian goes to school to study law, he doesn't study law to go and work. He studies for the Indian nation. That we found a loophole somehow that if you pay an amount of tax in the UK can beg you with citizenship. So I said, how do you do it? He said, we help our people pay it and we give them 10 years to pay back. So I asked him, what is the default rate? He said 0.01%. I said, how? He said, because when you default and you defraud an Indian, you have killed an Indian and you must not kill an Indian. I found that so instructive to say, how could a culture be this documented in a way that people own it and they literally live it out? In fact, part of what he said to me, I don't know if it's correct, is that the only place Indians compete within themselves is within India. That when they step out of India, it's almost like they're extending India to every territory they go. Now, it will then mean that there must be something in your family setup and family system that promotes that outcome. By the way, almost all the top Fortune 100 companies in the world have an Indian CEO as we speak. That couldn't have been a coincidence. What is your family structure like? Can you run us through how are Indians' children? And I'm also aware that when an Indian calls you uncle, it doesn't mean you are related by blood. In fact, I used to think they were blood relation until someone told me that no, when I call you uncle, it means I'm Indian, open the way for me. I find that very, very systematic, and I can see the result. Can you help us understand how do families operate in India, and how do you practically raise children to actually espouse these values and live it out anywhere they find themselves?
It's really a fire session. So every time I'm trying to give one answer, he's finding another point so that you can get into my brain. No problem. I'm ready for it. Because I am myself today. And it's easier to answer when you are yourself. The person who might have written the book, How to Marry and Live Happily with the Spouse, might have been somebody who has divorced many times. So, when you make lot of mistakes, it is easy to correct people that these are the mistakes you have made. So, I'm not sharing something new to you, but what I'm sharing is my own mistakes, which could have been covered. I am not seeing it as something which is not only going to inspire others with my talk, but also I'm seeing it as something which is going to inspire myself sitting here. But the Venkat who came in today and the Venkat who will go out from here today may be a different person. So your point is right, actually. I also feel proud when I say that majority of the CEOs across the world are Indians today, and maybe administration comes very commonly. I'm also heading an organization. I'm also very active in Indian Cultural Association. I'm active quite politically also certain places, because I believe that you have to be active in your community, you have to be active in your profession, and you have to be active also politically with your country, because your identity comes because you are from a particular place. Your value comes because you are working for somebody, and you are in your eyes somebody because you have a family and you have a name to protect. Of course, it may not be as easy to say that majority of Indians are afraid to go to hell. Probably that is why they want to do the right thing. But the fact is that there is something which has happened in the philosophy of the religion, which I feel might have been a part of our culture. For example, if I need money today because money is a very important aspect. So that's why I'm trying to say, that Indian culture, particularly the Hindu philosophy, has many, because it is called Sanatan Dharma. Hindu is a philosophy, but the religion is Sanatan. Sanatan Dharma is the religion. So in Sanatan Dharma, we have one God. If you pray, you will get money. If you pray one God, you can get knowledge. If you pray one God, you can even finish somebody who is not a good person in front of you. So we have already, probably in those days, the culture has gone to that extent, and possibly they felt that one God may not be able to address your problem. That is why they have created so many. So you can go, that we see today in a corporate culture. You have a HR department, you have a finance department, you have a sales and marketing department, you have a cultural department, you have different departments. So in fact, when I look at most of the organizations, I don't see any difference between the Hindu philosophy, how they have been following, and what is happening. So when a person becomes, from India or from our place, becomes a CEO, it intrinsically comes to him that every department has to handle people concerned and they will be more efficient. So this could be one of the reasons. I am not the best judge. We also have people who fail. We also have people who do not do well. We also have misunderstandings. We also have people with whom we could have supported, but we are not able to support. We also have people whom we have supported. They have not come back to us and helped us. We also have people to whom we might have thought that today if we help, tomorrow they will come back to us and help. But then somebody taught us many years back that when you are doing good things, you should not do it by looking at what is going to be the end result. In Bhagavad Gita, there is one statement which says that karm kar, phal ki ichha na kar. That means do your work, do your duty, without looking at what is going to be your end result. And that is what you are here in this world for. I hope this answers majority of your questions.
You've answered brilliantly. I must say thank you very much. I'm a big fan of the Indian culture. Sadhguru was my teacher for 3 years, by the way. And I had to go to New Delhi. One time I was in Medanta. So thank you very much for all you do. And thanks so much for this fireside chat, for inspiring us today. Thank you very much. We're grateful.